Good morning. I'm Giannis Jackson, and I'm your host of the Sunday Chronicle, coming to you from Stax 92.1. We are the platform for the community because community knows what community needs. I'm glad that you could join me again. Today we have our guest is Miss Hannah Rainey. Hannah Rainey. I was gonna say Rainy Dark-Fi because that's what I'm used to seeing, when we communicate. So that's what I was gonna say. Here's Rainy Dark-Fi. But Hannah, it is a pleasure to have you here. So I'm going to step back, and before I step back, we're going to be talking about today the power in sharing your passion, your purpose, and how it helps weave together the fabric of the community. And that's what Hannah and I are going to talk about. And she's going to tell you a little bit about what she does. And we're going to talk about what we do together to help meet the core foundational needs of the city, of the community, so we can be more productive for ourselves and more productive for others around us. So, Hannah, you go ahead and take it away. Tell me about the audience about yourself, what you're doing, all these wonderful things that are going on.
Okay, so my name is Hannah Rainey. I specify in abstract expressionism and surrealism and poetry. So I think that expressing yourself, art in general, is about expressing yourself.
Yes.
And it tells you you are heard, you are seen, you are important, and everybody deserves to know that is such a value to the world in general. And I really want to bring that into the community. And especially when I talk to other creatives or other artists, a lot of times people will say, I can't really draw even a stick person. It's like, no, you have so much value and untapped potential that you
Yes.
can give to the community, and that can help the community thrive and yourself.
And that's great because you're helping people nurse their inner desires as far as their passions, right? I know I'll speak for myself. Sometimes things can get a little unbalanced when I work and just work towards work and not towards my passion or my purpose, what I feel I was put here to do. And as I'm seeing now as I go more towards my passion, as I engage in that, and then it's coming and it's evolving, and it's actually the thing that I can do now for a living. And it is very much touching lives, that I'm living my passion. I'm living out my purpose, and I'm touching the lives of others. And so that's why I see that you're doing the same thing. Tell me about some of your gifts, and as far as an artist, like what type of things you do and how it helps meet those core foundational needs that we talk about in the community.
Well, my name, Rainy Dark-Fi, I know a lot of times people are like, why Rainy Dark-Fi? The way that I describe it is, the rain for me, it's a very spiritual thing. Mm-hmm. And it's something that when you go outside, you look at the rain, a lot of people are like, oh, it's a rainy day, like I can't do anything. Yes, you can. Rain is rejuvenating. Rain very much, it replenishes.
It's refreshing, right?
It is. It really is. And, then you have dark, rainy dark. Dark, a lot of times people are like, they shy away from the idea of something being dark. In reality, we're born from the dark. A lot of times we have to find our own light. So that's where that came from, rainy,
okay.
Dark, and then Fi is, it started out as like a lo-fi vibe, or, hi-fi.
Yeah, okay.
And then it was funny because I love words in general. I love, looking up different words that if I don't know it, my mom, she used to teach me, I'd say, what does this word mean? And she would say, look it up. So
would you consider yourself a wordsmith?
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Awesome. Okay.
I think it's super important to understand the language that we use.
Do you freestyle? A little
I can,
bit.
sort of.
Yes, you know it. You know I'm putting you on the spot. That's what I
saw
do.
your other interview. You were like, I want you to feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, no, I know what I'm
We're
walking into.
stretching ourselves here and we're learning. So go ahead, Rainy. I'm gonna say Rainy Dark 5.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you're comfortable with,
Yeah.
I'll answer to either.
Yeah, because this is your artist mode. So take it away.
Oh, now I'm nervous.
Oh.
What I would need kind of a subject unlike abstract.
Okay.
You know.
I would say, how about unity?
Unity. Unity. We need that in our community because without unity, it's not gonna. I don't know, because sometimes I'll go into like a rap and I'm just on the spot though.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Do you want me to turn around and then you could flow better? No, I won't
we
do.
need unity in the community. There you go.
Okay. Hey, I will take that.
You know.
Because that was actually nice because I didn't know it was going to come out like a rap. I'm I was going to start I was going to start beatboxing.
You know, I can beatbox a little bit. I can
Really?
beatbox. Yeah.
There's like a whole thing with that. It's like the number one beatboxer, or I heard, doesn't he reside in Michigan?
I'm not
I think
sure.
so.
Maybe.
Would you battle him? No, let me stop.
Let's go. Let's battle. Let's go. I'm ready.
Okay. So you ready to beatbox? Okay.
Yeah, I can beatbox.
Yes. Yes,
since
go
I
ahead.
can't- Since I can't rap, apparently. It's
Okay,
fine.
go ahead. Okay, go ahead. I might freestyle. Okay.
Man, I was not expecting to do all this today.
Oh my goodness.
My
I am
alarm.
so impressed. I mean, I didn't know we was gonna be up in here beatboxing and rapping. I mean,
either.
I'm excited now. Okay, so tell me, tell me how you got into the beatboxing and the.
I have always been a really creative person.
Okay.
And that's all I ever wanted to do when I was a kid is just create. So, I play piano as well. I mean, I love music, creating creatives in general.
Wow.
And, you know, art in general, it just became so much more than drawing for me. It became my whole entire world. And I love everything about it.
So what I picture is like art is the core of you.
Yes.
It's just expanded
It
to
is.
so many different directions, and that's wonderful. Because I do consider myself an artist, and I have these gifts that I feel that sharing them really helps me find a way to relate to other people.
Absolutely.
In times where I may feel like I don't connect with someone, I know there's got to be a song. I know there's got to be a painting. I know there's got to be a picture, something that we like in common. And so that's what I think is so wonderful about being an artist and being creative, being able to create something to relate to others. I mean, do you feel like that is your art as far as your art goes?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And going back to the original thing that you were talking about, you know, the community, art is just as important as an electrician. You know, think about all the buildings around you. All of those were designed by architects. You know, you
Yes.
have different projects that are made, and they have to be designed by someone.
Yes.
You know, so all of that is so important. Even how color affects us. You know, how red is a very passionate color, yellow is a very bright color. The reasons, I mean, that certain paintings are in certain buildings because it evokes certain emotions.
Yes.
And I think that's so beautiful, just the psychology of color and how we can use that to create change in our community.
Yes, it's amazing what the arts can do, and you talk about color. I also think about music and music therapy. There's an entire program within a music program that's designed to help heal people, to help them go through therapy, to help them with brain injuries.
Absolutely.
And so it's powerful what we have in our gifts. And I believe if we share our passions, then we can start to ignite more within more people within the community, a fire within them that will help them explore and find what their passion is.
Absolutely.
And so that's my goal when I share my gifts with the community. And so I'm really excited to hear about some of the things that you plan to do with your art. And speaking of your art, tell me about your art within Opportunity Arts. I made that. You like that transition? That was cute, wasn't it?
So I just recently became an affiliate with them.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done specifically anything yet with them, but a lot of the artists there, they're doing so many projects like Rooted Reverence. That's a new project that it's really starting to take off. It's beautiful.
Yes.
And I applied to do poetry in there. I think I got accepted. I'm not sure. I think I got accepted into that.
Okay.
So Rooted Reverence, so that's going to be in June or July? June? I think it's
Is that
June.
the festival in Mason?
Yes.
Is that? Yes. I talked to Sarah Saunders. I don't know. Did you listen to the interview?
I wasn't able to listen to the interview yet.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it was really good. Mike was here and Sarah was here, and they told me about that. We ran something in the Chronicle News about it. Mm-hmm. And so I was really excited because that's the day I found out that you signed with, with Opportunity Arts. Mm-hmm. And so since you've signed with Opportunity Arts, tell me how it's changed.
Oh, wow. The day that I met with Mike, actually, we ended up going to the Arts Council downtown, and he took his time to introduce me to everyone there. And I really felt like I was seen as an artist and not just as somebody who's doing art as a hobby. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, even before I had joined, I had been doing art for a very long time, and I'd been taking my art very seriously for a long time. Yes. But I hadn't done it in Lansing yet. So it really made me feel like, wow, Lansing has a huge community of artists and creatives to be a part of. And I see how they work together, and I was like, I want to be a part of that. And it definitely feels like a family for sure.
Oh, and that's nice because I see how much the art scene has grown and how it's changing. It's evolving. Mm-hmm. And I'm so very impressed by what's going on, especially with Opportunity Arts and how we're learning that, and he's putting that message out there, no more starving artists.
Absolutely.
We need to get paid our worth. You guys need to get paid what you are worth because it's valuable. And I'll go back to thinking of the world or the community without colors, without music, mm-hmm. Without beautiful paintings and poetry. I mean, those types of things, if we only focus on the technical aspect, it leaves not much room for balance. Do you think that, and this is a question that I asked Mike and Sarah, do you think that stripping the arts programs from communities, from schools and things, do you think that affects our children in a negative way?
I've never really thought about that before. I would say that it definitely does affect us as children. I know that if I didn't have the arts, because I went to vocational high school.
Okay.
If I didn't have the arts, I wouldn't have been able to feel like I was a regular person who could function in society, because I felt different. I felt like I need to create things, and I didn't realize that was a career that I could go towards. Yes. If I didn't have the opportunity to do that. So through my vocational high school, through the arts community that I had, because we had talked about this before. I grew up in Chattanooga, Tennessee. There was a huge arts community there, and a lot of people took me in and mentored me. And then I saw that, hey, this is a career path. I could take it into art curation, or I could be a full-time artist just painting, just creating. And it's different for everybody what they want to do, but as long as you're following your passion, you'll figure it out, and you have the right people around you who are also doing that. That will, that unity that we were talking about will really push that to be able to happen for you.
And surrounding ourselves with good people. I'm going to check in here. Absolutely. This is Giannis Jackson, and you are listening to Stacks 92.1. This is the Sunday Chronicle. And today, the Sunday Chronicle is actually sponsored by the Chronicle News. So, hey, and so we're going to say thank you to the Chronicle News.
Thank you, right? Chronicle News.
Yes, and without the sponsorship, we would not have this show today. So, with that being said, so let's shift a little bit. Tell me about the mental health piece, right? Because we talk about those core pillars that we want to address in a community to get out of survival mode. How, in your experience, how has painting helped deal with some of the challenges of mental illness?
Oh, wow. That's a deep question. Oh, I was not expecting a lot of these questions, but that's okay, because, I think it's important, especially in art, to challenge ourselves and to, for instance, if you're painting and you're like, oh, I don't want to risk putting this paint stroke here, or I don't want to risk doing that, do it anyway. Because that way you will see what it feels like, and you'll see if you like it or not. And a lot of times whenever I'm painting, I try to, anytime I'm painting, I try to connect it with my life a lot and see if there's an area I need to grow. Then, I'll take that risk when I'm painting. And I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of how I break it down in my mind.
That's good.
And
and that, that's good that you could take us through your thought process and how you look at that. So speaking of mental health, I wanted to give a quick plug to the upcoming Mental Health and Resource Fair. That's going to be taking place at the Fledge on July 30th. And I believe that time is from 4 to 7, but I will double check that. I'll be partnering, the Lansing Catalyst will be partnering with DAP, and it's the Dignified Aging Project, but it's actually the nonprofit arm. And we worked together in December and brought the first mental health fair. So we have another one coming up, and Hannah Rainey, we've asked her to be at one of the booths talking about art and mental health. So that was a quick little plug for what's coming up. And how we'll be partnering on a number of different things. So are you looking forward to the mental health fair? Tell me how you're feeling about that.
I am. I have a huge passion for mental health. I think it's so important to give it the attention that it needs, because when our mental health is off, our whole entire body is off.
Yeah.
We have so many different systems inside of us. We have our nervous system, we have like our actual bones, and then all of that is affected by our mind. Mm-hmm. Yes. And our gut health, all of that is connected. So, a lot of times. So I'm very excited for this.
I am excited too, because initially I believe that's when we first talked. You reached out and said that you were interested in doing some art for some events, right?
Yes.
And I was really excited, and it was really cool, because when you introduced yourself and you said you had been following my work, and when somebody says that to me, I feel really excited. I feel happy about that and accomplished, because I am really passionate about media, communications, about helping people secure basic needs. And I believe that communication is also something that we really should work on
Yes.
constantly. And that's why I drive home, with the publication that I'm running and the show that I'm hosting. I want to be able to send a message, to communicate, but not only me, allow the community to have a platform. And again, you're going to hear me say this, that community knows what community needs.
Absolutely.
And so that's why we have the community paper. This radio show is an extension of that newspaper, the vision of my father, Jay Price. And so I want to give him credit and where credit is due. He was able to put this show together before he passed, and this was one of his dreams, and to have something start with a print publication and then develop into other mediums of communications. I just am really proud to be able to take the torch, so to speak, and move forward with that. And so I am very passionate about that, and I want to keep this going. And so this is something that is running off of community support. This is for the community. So we ask, if you are interested in sponsoring a show, please reach out to the Sunday Chronicle. It's at the Sunday Chronicle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So please reach out. There's many different ways you can sponsor. You can sponsor by donating. You can sponsor your time to help some of the things that we're doing with the Sunday Chronicle now. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I plan to help aspiring media, whether they're students or whether they're wanting to learn, they have a passion for media, radio, broadcasting, television, for marginalized, for people that are exploring, and just for the community in general. So that's something that's in the works. That's also an extension of the Sunday Chronicle. So it is an actual entity now. Yes. And so I'm really excited about that, an actual nonprofit organization. And so I'm going to dedicate that to helping people reach their full potential. So let's see, it looks like we're almost out of time here. So I wanted to see if you had any last words before we leave, something you want to drop, a nugget of wisdom from Rainy Dark-Fi at Rainy Dark-Fi. How do people get in touch with you?
So you can find me I'm always on Instagram. So like social media, I love social media. You get to see other people in their studios doing their thing. I get so inspired by seeing people do what they love. Yes. And it's beautiful to watch that. I mean, when you see somebody creating something purely just because they want to and sharing that, it's there's nothing that tops that for me for some reason.
Yeah, that's a great feeling. Yeah, it is to see people doing that work and have the platform to share it with the world now. And that's great that we've been able to do those types of things now with the technology that we have. So
you can find me at Rainy Dark-Fi.
At Rainy Dark-Fi on Twitter.
On Instagram.
I
don't have a Twitter.
What about Facebook?
I have a Facebook. It's under Hannah Rainey.
Hannah Rainey. Okay. Yep. So if you want to reach Hannah, that's how you do it. But our time is growing near, and I'd like to thank our guest again for being here to talk about the power in sharing our passions, our purpose, and how it helps weave together the fabric of the community. So in closing, I want to thank you all, my wonderful audience, for tuning in again for another episode of the Sunday Chronicle. This is a platform for the community, and we are bringing it to you every Sunday because community knows what community needs. I'm your host, Janice Jackson, and hope to see you next week. Thank you. Make it a great day.